Hello, captains. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, USS Endeavor. Welcome aboard my favorite ship, the Tier 7 Bayard, which is the French premium cruiser, which is available in the store for 17,500 doubloons, which is a very steep price. Gameplay code is below if you'd like to skip straight to it. We're going to go over why I like this ship, the stats, the commander. So here we go. Andre Lemonnier is my commander with a 16-2. He helps drop spot a little bit quicker after firing the guns, but you're going to be going burr in this thing for a while, so that perk kind of comes in handy, but it's not the main reason why I use him. I've built this all into speed. That's how I stay agile, because you need to. So both of my inspirations reflect that. And the beyond range skill in the first slot, you want to stay at range in this thing. Chance of fire going up in the second with Igniter. And then the third is Velocis. I'd like to get that one a little bit higher, but right now it's at 4%. And then Fixated, which helps with our accuracy and grouping. And lastly, again, with the main reload and distance. So all from distance, heavy spraying. In the first mod slot, I've got the turret rotation. Second is the propulsion mod, which I'll explain why. The third, we're also using steering gears. And then the last, we are using the main battery mod 3, the epic modification, but you don't have to use this. In fact, I've seen it's been a little bit difficult to use this, so the regular one works just fine. On to the actual stats of the ship itself. As you can see, there is no heal whatsoever. You have a sonar, you have a speed boost, and you have a win button, and you get 2 charges of each. The engine boost is really nice at a maximum speed plus 20% for 3 minutes, which is fantastic. And the main battery reload booster, you get 2 charges, and once activated, you become the highest DPM cruiser in the game for 20 seconds. But it works very, very well, and in certain situations can save your butt. So moving on to the actual ship stats, the survivability. 34,700 at this tier is not that much, and you have no heals, so every bit of damage you take, including fires, floods, anything, sticks. You can't get rid of it, and you have to maintain it throughout the rest of the match. Your artillery, you have 12 barrels, 152 millimeters, that reach out to 7.4 kilometers with this build, with a 6.4 second reload time, which you can technically get better as the game goes in, but for all intents and purposes, 6.4 seconds. Good 180 degree turn time, and the fire setting chance, 15%, is really spicy. And don't sleep on the AP either. It's very good up close. The torpedoes, you have 6 torpedoes, 3 on either side. They reload in 90 seconds, reach out to 9 kilometers, and go 60 knots. They're okay. They're average. I'm glad you have them, but they're not the mainstay of this ship. On to the AA defense. We don't face a care in this match. The AA is decent. It starts at 5 kilometers, and you get all of your firepower after 4.5 kilometers. It's okay. It's not the greatest. It's not the worst. It's okay. The maneuverability, all about speed. Your stock speed is 37.7 knots. However, once you hit your engine speed boost, you're doing well over 40 knots for 3 minutes. And your rudder shift time at 5.6 seconds is good enough to be able to turn and dodge shots, which you have got to learn how to be good at in this ship, or you're going to be quickly back to port, which is why I like this ship. It's really hard to do well in and stay alive at the end of the match. Your concealment, 12.7 kilometers. You're not really speccing into it. You're a long-range shooter. You can do a lot of damage up close. However, you better pick your targets. Your firing within smoke is 6.7 kilometers, but the chances of you using that and utilizing it is not the greatest. Here are my ship stats for this. I'm at a 64% win rate with just over 75 battles played in her for standard. She's really climbing up the charts for me. I really love this ship. You can check it out if you want. Onto the armor. It's coated in 25 millimeters of armor, which at this tier can get overmatched by anything with greater than 14-inch shells, which is the majority of ships out there if you're a battleship. And the rest of these, I'm just kind of showing that some of these surfaces can bounce. This section right here can bounce 380s, which is 15-inch shells, which is your deck, but that it can punch through the bow easily. You have a stepped citadel. What that means is that it's waterline underneath the turrets, but then at the very center of the ship, it gets raised up. And as you can see on the sides, it's 25 millimeters. So if you don't play this thing right, you get punished severely. However, if you play it well, you can do really, really well, which is why I love this ship in general. And here's another look at that step citadel. As you can see, waterline, and then it bounces up. We are on the map Hotspot, and if you see in the Siegfried on the red team, that is Giticus Good, who is a very good player, and he's divisioned up with a Plymouth and somebody who I don't know personally, but that's not a fun sight to see when you load up into a match in your solo. However, they are on the Charlie side, or I'm sorry, the opposite side, Bravo. So I am on Charlie, and we're not going to see him during this match. However, he is going to affect the match over on that side, and knowing that, we need to take this cap as quickly as possible. So I am here supporting our destroyer, and it's contested. So there is the destroyer in the Summers. Our Fletcher is doing a great job, and we are going to support him and try and take this guy out. He is a very, very dangerous ship, and one that we need to eliminate as quickly as possible. So that's our first task. Torpedoes go out just in case he goes dark and I miss. Get a good hit there, and then one more shot before he goes dark, and this one's going to be a really good hit with 6 pens and a fire, and that fire is going to stick. Here we're trying to get him with a little bit of blind fire, but we're not as successful. But as you can see, we're not going to need it because he damage conned a little too early, and the remaining fire that stuck is going to be his demise. And so the Megami is also right here contesting, and now he goes out of the cap. There's that destroyer that finally goes down. So great job. That's a huge win right off the bat. First ship gone, and it's a destroyer in the cap, allowing our Fletcher to be able to take Charlie. Here we're focusing the Megami, but he is now starting to turn away and head out. We were using AP, which is very good on this ship, especially against cruisers, broadside targets, and it's good against the against battleships in their superstructure. It can really chunk them for really good damage, really good consistent damage. So don't sleep on the AP. This boat is all about the guns, and it's all about firing from concealment or at range. So that's why we're staying behind the island, because any damage that we take is going to be permanent, and we can't heal it back. It's the only cruiser that is at tier 7 that has no heals, and I don't feel that it needs it. It's a very difficult play style. If you don't play this thing right, you get punished, and those are the kind of ships that I really enjoy playing. I don't like playing the ships that are quote-unquote easy or overpowered, or you always see everybody playing. I like playing ships that are really hard to do well in, and because it's a little bit more satisfying for me. But that's just my opinion. Everybody's different. I'm not opposed to playing those other ships. I like this one particular because it is a challenging play style, and it really challenges me. So on to the Iowa and the Mogami, who's the only ships left on this side right now. We are trying to set this guy back on fire, because we did see that he had damage conned, and there we get our fire, and we're going to try and set another one before we switch to AP. So he's going broadside, and I just wanted to kind of show real quick how quickly this with the AP you can chunk this Iowa. So just kind of watch the penetrations on the far right hand, or on the right side of the screen. You're aiming in the upper side and the side plating, the upper side plating and the superstructure, and you can see just how much damage we were racking up in this short amount of time with the with the main battery reload booster. So very effective. So we essentially doubled our damage in just that 20 seconds So don't sleep on the AP. If you're going to shoot at battleships, aim high, and you'll do well, because these 152s will shatter on the broadsides. So moving on, since we've already taken this cap, there's no need to push in there. We could effectively take anybody out that decided to go in there and reset them. Here our destroyer is pushing around the left hand side to spot these ships that are coming over here, so we're going to continue to support him. Mogami's still way out there. The one thing about these shells is that they do float a little bit, so you got to be careful when it comes to aiming. It just takes time to understand where to actually aim. Here I'm going to show how you can open water these ships and maintain your stopping and starting. As you can see, we turned out and slowed down, and that's going to allow this Iowa to completely whiff us, which again, you want to do that. And here, unfortunately, my game dropped for 30 seconds, which really sucked. So now we're going to get back into it, and during that time, you see how the Iowa was almost dead, and I wasn't able to kill him, and unfortunately he's going to get a heal off, and we're still not going to be able to take him out. He is so low, and it just frustrated me that my game it went back to the I dashboarded back out, and it took me 30 seconds to reload back in the game. But however, during that time I didn't lose hardly any health. I'm guessing my commander perk, which allows me to go dark quicker, aided in that. So a little bit of a benefit when it came to that. However, in that short amount of time, the Iowa was able to get away. He is going to be able to heal some of that back, and that's just super, super frustrating. So we're going to have to push back in. As you can see, both of our destroyer and cruiser are actually really low on health. So I really don't want them to push up. I need to, I really want to get over to the other side because we're down in ships. The caps are tied, but with Gidicus good with his teammate over on that side, they're going to start making short work of those ships over there. They've already taken the cap, and I need to finish up these two ships over here so we can get back over there and help, but we're just not quite ready to be able to do that yet, which is frustrating. And I feel like if my game hadn't dropped, I wouldn't have had to have stayed over here nearly as long as I did. But that's just kind of how it goes sometimes, and unfortunate that that happened. So here you can see the Iowa is pushing back over towards Charlie, so we are going to focus him some more. We've got to get him off the board. We've got our reload booster back, and I can't remember if I utilize it here, but again, we get spotted. The Iowa knows we're here. He is definitely going to be taking a shot at us, and you just got to understand the timing of this. There he shoots, and we stop and turn, but we weren't really at full speed yet, so this is not nearly as effective, and we take a nasty hit through the stern. Not sure if that was a Citadel, but that was an unnecessary hit that we didn't have to take. I feel like we would still have that health if we would have taken the Iowa out earlier, and he is still getting his health back. I don't know if he's will to rebuilding off of the cruiser that's right next to him, or what, but we're not able to set another fire, which is a little annoying. Here he's finally going forward, so still trying to take him out, which is frustrating, but you can do that from this range. And there we finally get a fire, but does he put, no, he doesn't put it out. So we're going to keep focusing him. The Mogami is pushing into the cap, and if you could see, our destroyer is going to meet him, which I really needed him not to do that. I could focus him, and I can take out the cruiser. The Fletcher doesn't need to make this play, and there we finally take the Iowa out, and now I got to get in there, and I've got to help the cruiser, or I'm sorry, take out the cruiser and help our destroyer. I don't want him in there. He's smoked up. The Mogami, if he plays this right, can just rush the Fletcher with his hydro and wipe him out, and the Fletcher will never see it coming. So I need him to come back. He tells me negative, so okay. That's your call, buddy. But, you know, the Zara also is not looking very healthy either. So both of these ships, the Mogami could take out if he plays it right. But I'm trying to get in here to prevent that from happening. The Fletcher decides to push out for reasons I don't know, and then gets obliterated by the Mogami because, well, I saw that coming. There we get a blind fire, and we're able to reset him, which is huge. And now he's going to have the benefit of that smoke, which is also unfortunate because the Fletcher not only needlessly died, but also provided him with smoke cover. The Mogami now is spotted by the Zara. However, because of his low health and the Mogami's really good HE, he is going to be able to take out the Zara too. So he gets both of these ships, and here in a sec, the Zara is going to go down, which I believe is right there. So now the Mogami is trying to take this cap. So good on him for doing that. He does not know where I am at this point because the smoke was also helping him. It also aided in concealing me from the Mogami. So he took out both the destroyer and the cruiser, which I saw that coming. However, we have AP loaded because if he's broadside to us when we come around this corner, there are hydros spotting him. He no longer has his hydro. I'm guessing it ran out, but he has no idea which way I'm coming from. I guess he's just thinking that it's going to be right off his bow. However, I'm right off of his broadside, and we get a full broadside into the Mogami, and we get 4 citadels, and we take them out. So we're able to save the cap. However, if you look at the ship count, it is drastically gone in the favor of the Reds. And there's the Plymouth, which is Gidicus's squad mate. I have no idea where they're at this point. There, the Colorado takes out Gidicus good, so I'm like, okay, well, that's good. No pun intended. But the Siegfried was able to, I believe, take out the Colorado, which you're going to see here in just a second. Boom, right there he goes. So he got a torpedo hit. So there's a trade. So now it's 2v4. There's really not a whole lot I can do, especially against the Plymouth. I could probably take out from range. However, we go around the corner, and there's a full health Heinrich, which is not what I wanted to see. And the Heinrich, although he's not focusing right here, he's about to. There we get our high caliber, which is good. But we pop the reload booster, and we switch to AP. And unfortunately, there's just, even though the DPM on this is really, really good for this 20 seconds, it's not going to be nearly enough to take down this Heinrich. I really needed to finish up that side faster than we did. The delay in doing that is going to pretty much cost us any chance at finishing this off. So Heinrich is pushing into the cap also on our side. He's going to start contesting that. He's the only target that I have to shoot at, so that's why we're doing this. Getting really good damage, staying at range, altering your speed is the best way to play this thing. It's not an easy ship to do well in, but it's a very rewarding ship when you can. So that's why it's my favorite cruiser. I think it's a fantastic play style. It's not an easy ship. I know a lot of people don't like HE spammers, but this is definitely one that you can ruin. And if you don't know how to play this thing very, very well, and you're relying on heals, this is probably not the ship for you. So anyway, we're not going to win this game. Now I'm the only ship left against 4. I would love to have been able to have more time. Maybe I could have made a bit of a difference, but unfortunately it's not meant to be. And there we get a message from Gidicus. He basically told me GG, and I told him GG as well. And we had a pretty good back and forth, but we got over 2K base in a loss, and Gidicus was top on the leaderboard on his side as well. So it was a good game, but unfortunately just wasn't one that we were able to win. But that's a little bit of a look at the Bayard. It's not going to be the last time you see it. It is a fantastic ship. I really, really enjoy it. Can't say that enough. Just a hard one to do well in, but very rewarding when you do. So that's going to do it for me, captains. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Let me know how I did. And I will see you in the next video. This is the USS Endeavor signing off.